You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, we're going to talk today about the real reason that some Y&R stars left, and a lot of these exits are quite controversial that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to start with one of the most controversial exits, Michael Muni as Adam Newman. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please reach down, click that subscribe button. So Adam Newman debuted in 2008, originally known as Adam Wilson before the big Victor Newman paternity reveal. And a couple of Adam actor exits were controversial, none more so than Michael Muni. Real quick, let's talk about Chris Engen, who played Adam before him. From February 2008 to June 2009, Engen left abruptly after about a year, and the rumor mill exploded with speculation that the actor was uncomfortable with the storyline of Adam seducing another man. Now, Engen vehemently denied that that was why he left, but he left. Enter Michael Muni in June 2009, and he absolutely nailed it. For 5 years, he was a fan favorite as Adam. He scored an Emmy nomination in 2013, which turned out to be the same year he was fired. So he did not choose to exit, he was exited. Now, there were some tabloid reports about alleged inappropriate backstage behavior towards a younger female co-star, a charge that Muni has always passionately denied and the female co-star has never confirmed. The larger issue with his exit likely was his reported backstage feud with Eric Braeden, a.k.a. the great Victor Newman. After his firing a few months down the road, Braeden confirmed and said that Michael Muni had begun a campaign to try and get him kicked off Young and the Restless, but Braeden denied he had Muni fired. And typically that's down to showrunner and producer discretion, not the discretion of another actor. But when you've been on the show a long time, you probably have a little pull, but Braeden denies it. Then Justin Hartley was recast into the role in November 2014 and was beloved in the role, but he left in 2016. Now, we know Justin Hartley left to pursue other projects. That's the reason he left. He got a role on what turned out to be a hugely successful award-winning primetime series, This Is Us, and he played, 2 years as Adam and then went on to great things. Right now, he's got another hit CBS show, Tracker. So when they did these two exits, they wrote an Adam death and then revived him with a recast. And the most recent recast that continues to stick is Mark Grossman. Another controversial exit at Young and the Restless was Gina Tognoni as Phyllis Summers. Michelle Stafford originated the role of Phyllis back in 1994, but she left after nearly 2 decades of scheming and romance and Emmy-nominated performances. So when she announced she was leaving in July of 2013, fans were blindsided. Her final episode aired early August 2013. Phyllis fell down some stairs and right into a coma after a confrontation with Sharon Newman. At the time, Michelle said the exit was her choice. She wanted to do other things. Fans wondered if Jill Farron Phelps might have been to blame. Michelle Stafford landed a really hot role over on General Hospital as Nina Reeves, and Y&R cast Gina Tognoni in 2014 when Phyllis woke from her coma. Gina was a great actress. Many people loved the recast. Then in 2019, out of nowhere, she was abruptly fired and Michelle Stafford was back. There was a 10-episode gap between the two actresses, between Gina and Michelle. And executive producer Anthony Marina and head writer Josh Griffith took credit for the firing and the swap. They said they were restoring Y&R to its iconic sensibility and said they were the ones that pursued Michelle Stafford aggressively to bring her back. Now let's talk about the controversial swap of Chance Chancellor actors. After 8 years without Chance being on screen, we got Donnie Boaz. From November 2019 to February 2021, Boaz did 108 episodes of solid work. He had great chemistry with Melissa Ordway's Abby Newman. And then in the midst of Chance and Abby's surrogacy journey with Mariah Copeland, just abruptly, seemingly out of nowhere, Boaz was out. He posted on Instagram just a couple of days before it happened that February 1st was his last air date. Fans were absolutely blindsided, and he said he only found out he had been cut on Christmas Eve. That is not a gift that anybody wants. Boaz said, "I'd love to say this was my choice, that I've booked a big project and I'm leaving of my own accord, but that would not be the truth." He also said there were other cast members to be cut because of COVID budget issues. Then Donnie Boaz went back in and edited his post to make it less accusatory, less inflammatory, and he said there was not going to be a chance recast. Well, he was wrong, and some suggested his firing might have been about his political beliefs, but Boaz never commented, and those remain rumors. Later that year, Connor Floyd was brought in as the recast of Chance in November 2021, and they just killed him off in August 2025. As to why Connor Floyd left, he landed a juicy role over on Days of Our Lives. Now let's talk about the exit of Lola Rosales. Sasha Kajay played Lola on Y&R from September 2018 to 2021. She had electric chemistry with Michael Mealer's Kyle Abbott. Then in February 2021, everything changed and Lola was leaving Genoa City. So why Sasha left? Well, it was for a great reason for the actress, if not for Y&R fans. She beat out over 425 other actresses to land the role of Supergirl in the Flash movie. She was the first ever Latina actress to play the role. And it also worked out well because Y&R, let's be honest, was not writing great stuff for Lola at that point. Now we're going to talk about 2 Summer Newman exits and answer the questions of why did both these actresses leave. So Hunter King was the second actress to play aged up Summer Newman on Young and the Restless. We're going to talk about her exit and also that of Allison Lanier. Fans loved Hunter King as Summer Newman. She played the role from 2012 to 2021 with a small gap in the middle. Hunter earned 2 Daytime Emmys for Outstanding Younger Actress in 2014 and 2015, but she had bigger ambitions than playing Summer on the soap. She took a short gap to do a primetime series and then came back, but then Hunter King decided to make the leap completely away from soaps. She has stayed busy since then with TV shows and movies since leaving the role of Summer. Then in May 2022, Y&R recast Summer with Allison Lanier, and she earned a 2024 Daytime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actress. So Allison played the role of Summer for 3 years. Then abruptly on April 30th, 2025, Allison announced on X that May 2nd was her last episode. So it was like bam and then gone. She said she loved the journey and learned so much, but said it is time to grow in a different direction. With Kyle moving on to Claire and Chance marked for death, there wasn't a lot of front burner material for Summer on Y&R. And some critics said her hasty exit storyline cheated Allison Lanier out of proper closure, but the exit was open-ended, leaving room for a return or a recast. Now let's talk about Richard Burgi's instant exit as Ashland Locke. So Richard Burgi is a stellar actor. I think he was a great find for the Young and the Restless to play twisted villain Ashland Locke. Richard Burgi joined Y&R in March 2021, and his character Ashland swept Victoria off her feet, but let's be real, he was bad to the bone. Then all of a sudden in January 2022, Burgi was fired over what he claims was a misunderstanding of workplace policy. So over Christmas break in 2021, the Ashland actor visited family and he tested positive for COVID. Burgi followed new CDC guidelines that said to isolate for 5 days. Then he returned to work on the Y&R set. He tested negative twice at the studio. The issue was that Y&R had a 10-day isolation policy, double the CDC guideline that Burgi either wasn't aware of or misunderstood. He says he misunderstood. So Y&R fired him abruptly for this protocol violation. His wife was kind of lashing out online, implying that Y&R did her husband dirty, and Burgi insisted he inadvertently violated policy, and fans were quite divided on the firing. In the end, they recast the role of Ashland with Robert Newman before they killed off the character.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.